Hi, and welcome to the My Dog Made Me Do It Naturally podcast. I am your host, Kat Jepson, a canine nutritionist with an innate obsession with dogs and the natural ways in which we are driven to live because of them. So, let's get to it. Hey everyone, your friendly neighbourhood cat here. Hope everyone's doing well today. I am recording this in real time on Friday the 26th of January. It's currently 5:52 a.m. So you're getting a super special episode this morning, and it is in fact my birthday. So happy birthday to me. Right, okay, so today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm basically going to tell you about the idea behind Be More Dog. I have been having a few requests recently about the ideas behind Be More Dog nutrition and how it came to light. So I think we'll start there. Now, obviously, the world of canine nutrition can be a confusing place, and as I was trying to make sense of my position within this world, when obviously doing the qualifications and stuff and deciding how I could help people, I wanted to kind of portray the idea that in order to best support our dogs, then we have to try and be more like dogs, because essentially that is how we can gain a better understanding of what they truly need by looking at them as a species. So, Be More Dog basically is a way to inform pet parents on how they can be more dog for their dogs. So, the idea is that by looking at how we can respect our dogs as a species, but love them as our own fur babies, is how we can enable them to live a natural life in a human world. So how can we adopt the role of the canine as a mother of the puppy and not the puppy as a baby of the human to meet our dog's biological, emotional and nutritional needs whilst living alongside us, the humans? Now, we do have this massive tendency to humanize our dogs, and that's just because we love them so much that we do treat them like our babies. But sometimes this often leads to not treating them badly, but maybe just not offering them the best kind of support that they need in our world. Now, dogs are wild animals. Domesticated dogs obviously aren't wild animals, but they are animals at the end of the day. So we have to be able to look at the dog through their own lens, see how they have evolved, look at their natural needs, look at how they function, how their bodies work, how their digestive system works, and things like that, in order to be able to really understand if what we present them with is what's best for them. Now, there are lots of different influences that humans have brought upon dogs, some of them positive and some of them negative. And each of these impacts our dogs in different ways and can have different outcomes. And this is also very dog dependent as well. Now, it's crucial to remember that all dogs are individuals, and what one dog experiences can be completely different to another dog, even if they have been in the same environment. And this basically depends on their unique personality and genetic makeup. So, Be More Dog essentially is my way of being able to support you as pet parents in understanding these needs of the dog, how to identify your dog's own unique needs, and how to cater for them individually on an individual level, but to also do it in a way that works for you as an individual and to fit around your lifestyle and your beliefs. Now, another thing that I want to try to achieve is to help you shift your perspective and your mindset so that you can be confident in understanding and supporting your dog, in thriving in our environment. Now, we have to remember that dogs came from the wild. And in the wild, they would basically just roam around all day looking for food. They might do a bit of hunting. They'd normally live in a family situation, and they would have access to freedom, basically. And that is one of the main things that is removed from the domestic dog's lifestyle. It is that freedom of choice. Now, if you are lucky enough to live on a farm with loads of acres and you can let your dog run around all day, then obviously that's great. But in reality, that's really not the case. So we need to think of different ways that we can help sort of mimic the natural lifestyle of dogs within the human world. And it can be tough, especially if you've been living in this traditional pet parent lifestyle where you go to work all day and your dog is at home, and then you come home and you might give them a little walk, and that might be it. But whatever your circumstances are, there are always different ways in which we can achieve helping our dogs in the human world. Now, if you do want to look at this in detail, then do sign up to my free webinar, which is next week on the 1st of February. And that's the Canin-ise Yourself, Don't Humanise Your Dog. Now, this is going to be the full focus of this webinar, with different ways in which you can kind of look at lifestyle and nutrition in the position of your dog so that you can understand them better, or at least begin to try to figure it out. But for now, there are a few things that I just want you to remember. Now, first of all, you need to learn about your dog. Now, you might know lots of things about dogs, but what do you know about your dog? Really try to understand your dog. You might be one of these pet parents who knows absolutely everything and notices even subtle changes in the way that they present themselves or how they are day to day. But if not, then really start to pay attention and look at how they behave and what affects them. And this is a great starting point to discovering what they need. You also need to address your own anxieties. Identify what holds you back from making changes. Break it down. Look at how you can start to overcome it, whether it's with fresh feeding, if you're a little bit scared to try it, or whether it's trying new things, or starting a training journey, or just basically a bit more bonding time with your dog. You need to also identify your dog's needs from your own perspective and from nature's perspective. So this will be a combination of both. What does nature tell you that your dog needs? Now, this is based around their biology, their physiology, and things like that. But what's your perspective? What does your gut tell you that you could be doing for your dog that you might not be doing right now? Now, it is really important that we learn how to adapt our mindset and perspective when thinking about caring for our dogs. We need to find ways that harness their qualities as our companions, but respects them as a species. Now, this doesn't mean that we can't love them as our own, because we can, and we do, unconditionally. But we do need to start looking at what nature tells us. We need to look for ways to understand their physiology, how their body works, the chemistry and the physics behind their bodily functions, how the molecules behave and their organs work together. Because this is what's going to help us understand what happens when their body is healthy versus when it is sick. We need to look at what's normal for them. We need to look at all the different systems and how they can be affected. So that could be the nervous system. I know there are lots of dogs with anxiety and things like that. So we need to compare this to what we typically think we know when we get a dog. And we need to find out more. We obviously benefit massively from our dogs, and they should benefit from us too. And by being more dog for them, we can help them be dogs in a human world. Now, if you did enjoy this episode, albeit brief, and you do want to find out more, then please do head over to my Instagram and sign up for the webinar. But if not, I hope you can take something from today's session and just try it with your dog. Every day is a school day, and every day is an opportunity to be better. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to another great episode of the My Dog Made Me Do It Naturally podcast. Don't forget to check out the caption for any links discussed here today. And please, if you enjoyed the show, follow along and listen for free on your favourite podcast app. If you have any questions or would like to share your story, feel free to email me at mydogmademedoitnaturally@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Purpose of this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be substituted as advice from a veterinarian or other professional. It does not form a client relationship with me, the host, or any guest speakers, and any information is not intended to and does not diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. My guests express our own views, thoughts and opinions as individuals, and the podcast neither endorses or opposes the views, products or services discussed here. If your pet is ill, always seek advice from your veterinarian. I am not a veterinarian and I do not treat disease or offer medical advice.